So we're fixing to get ready to go paint a boundary line. Here's the stuff we're gonna need. We've got our paint here, orange paint. We've got a brush axe. That's what we're gonna clean the trees with. A little fan because it's really hot. It's gonna be like 95, 98 degrees today. Got a little bit of thinner over here to clean stuff. We got our snake boots because there's big rattlesnakes out here. Put these boots on. And we have our cooler full of drinks and cold water. Gotta drink 2 or 3 waters every quarter mile to stay hydrated because it's really hot. So I'm gonna get my boots on and get ready to go, and I'll video once I get going. I'll show you how we do it. Actually, let me show you. I got the map here. I'll show you the map of what we're gonna do today. Here's the map. We're gonna do this little square right here. And that is a mile around that square, a quarter mile on each side. And then I'll show you where we are when we get going. Catch you back in a minute. All right, here we go. All right, this tree's dead, and we're changing this color from blue, from yellow to orange color. There's a small tree here. We're going to paint that tree, being it's in the same line. And then there's an old fence. You can barely see it. There's an old fence in here that looks like it's right on the line. It's torn out here and there. The line goes up that way and down that way. We're going to paint this one, then we're going to go that way and look for the next tree. Catch you back. All right, there we go. There's the old fence post that's on the line. We painted it. It wasn't painted before, but it's right on the line. I can see the next tree down that way. We'll be going that way now. All right. Let's go back around this briars and brush. You always want to watch you don't step on a big rattlesnake, like around areas like this where there's holes in the ground. And up on banks, you need to watch because snake boots only go up to your knees, and if you're standing near a bank and it's up, the snake is up on the bank, it could hit you above your snake boots. And so I have seen them coiled up on a bank like that before, and it's not fun. It's real scary whenever you see one right there next to you on a bank. So you got to keep an eye out when you're near a bank. If it's down at your foot level, then here's the next tree. It's a good tree. We're just going to scrape this one and paint it. You kind of look around where you're standing, kind of watch, make sure there's not a big timber rattler coiled up. I have had that happen several times. Here's the bucket of paint. I'm going to have to do this with one hand, and usually have 2 hands, but I want to show you what we do here. Okay, so here's the brush axe. Just take and you knock off all the loose bark. Anything loose is going to come off of the tree. You want to knock it off of there. Kind of scrape it down. Some of them are better than others. Pine trees, you got to scrape a lot more because the bark is a lot looser. So there you go. Scrape it like that. Sometimes I'll take the axe and stick it in the tree up above where I'm painting if I'm trying to film. Get your brush and just paint a nice straight stripe across. Like that. I go from both ways. It's hard to do this while I'm filming, but usually we try to do a nice, neat job of painting it on the tree. And kind of get it down in the cracks where you can. It'll stay there a lot longer if it's in the cracks. Try to make a nice straight stripe. You don't want drips. You don't want it dripping down the tree and looking terrible. You can leave a little bit of the old paint where people can see that the old paint, we didn't paint it off the line. It's where the old paint was. And that's about it. And then we go down the line that way and look for the next one. And they're up in the bushes sometimes, and sometimes they're really hard to see. But they're there usually. Sometimes they're not. And then you got to figure out what to do. And if you can't find it, you mark it on the map and report it to the company. But catch you back. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll film a little more when I get to a corner. Okay, so I'm at a corner. See the X there on the tree. There's the X, and down by the bottom of that post, you see a post in the ground down there. See that post, and then there's some marks on this fence post where it corners. There's my brush axe. Let me switch you around. Alright, there's 3 bands on that, the old yellow bands on that tree. There's the post, and this post here has some marks on it. And then this big tree has marks on it. Usually there's 2 or 3 witness trees of the post. So there's their last tree. You can see the orange back there. You see it right there. And then there's a fence post there with an old bucket on it from the last person that painted. The line goes up through there. You can't see the next one, but you can see that one. But, okay, so it comes this direction to where I am. And then it turns at this corner and goes that direction. You see the mark on the tree down there. And so we're going to paint all these trees here, and I'll get back to you. I'll video it after I paint them and show you when it's finished, so what it was before and what it is after. Okay, so here's the post. There's that fence post. Here's the tree with the X. Done painting. We paint. Alright, so we came from that way down that way. Came up here. Painted this post. There's another witness tree. 3 bands. Those marks are pointed towards the post. There's the next tree. You can barely see it, yellow marked way down there. That's the direction we're fixing to go. So, let me show you one more thing. Get back around over here. Okay. This tree with the X, we put these marks on all 4 sides of the tree. These squares. So that if you're walking through the woods and you come to this corner, you can see it from any direction that you're walking towards it. The X now, if you were walking up this line, you would see that X in front of you. And then if you were walking from that way to this way, you'll see the post with the paint. There's the tree over this way is a little far away, so anyways, that's very visible where this corner is. I'm going to paint a little bit right there on this side of the post I couldn't reach, and then we'll be on our way. And I'll get back to you when we get down the way. We get to a creek or something, I'll film a little more. See ya. Okay, here's a nice example of how the line goes. The 2 stripes are on our property, on the company I'm painting for's property. The 1 stripe on that other tree down further away is off of the property. And then the next one you see way back there is off of the property. So that line goes directly that direction, and the 2 trees with the 1 stripe are off of the property, and the 2 stripe ones are on the property. And the 2 stripes will be over to the right of this video, and the 1 stripes will be to the left. And it just goes down. So we're coming from that way. We painted those trees, and we are going that way where you can't see anything, but they are up there. We have to go up through there and look at the trees. I do see the next one, but you can't see it on the video. Maybe I can zoom in. There's a little mark on that little tiny tree right there, and then there's another one up there on that big tree, but you can barely see it. It's in the leaves there. So when we're done, you'll be able to see those a lot better, and so they'll know where their line is. The company owns thousands of acres of land, and they don't have time to worry about where their lines are, so they need them marked very well so that they can cut their trees without encroaching on other people's land. And so also there's hunting leases, and the hunters need to know where the other leases are, and so they don't hunt on the wrong property. All right, I'll get back to you in a bit. Okay, you come from that way, you can see the marks back there. All right, and we are going that direction. There's a gully up there. Let me flip this around. Okay, there's the paint. I like to go over halfway around the tree. You can see it from different angles. And so now I'm going to go down this way. I'm going to film for a minute while I'm walking. I'm watching for snakes. We're getting close to this little creek. We've got our snake boots on. And here's the gully here we got to get across. But it goes right down that gully for a little ways. There's usually like cottonmouths in here, stuff like this, so you got to really pay attention to where you're stepping and what's in the trees. I've had them right in the tree right in front of me before. Usually they drop down. They don't like being in the tree. Especially when you surprise them, they'll drop straight to the ground. They're usually not too aggressive, unless there's a lot of them. If there's a lot of them, they tend to be more aggressive. Cottonmouths are the worst. Rattlesnakes will warn you, and they aren't that aggressive unless they're shedding and they can't see. Then they get real nervous. But anyways, here's the next tree right here. You see that old paint on it. All right, so there's one. There's one on that tree that's leaning over the creek. I got to lean around there and paint that one. And there's another one on up the creek. It crosses the creek here in a minute, but it follows it for a little bit. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and paint these. I can't hold the camera and paint at the same time very good, so I'll get a better camera that, or the GoPro on my hat or somehow where I can get more films of me just walking the line, and then I can explain a little more about what I do. And I've been doing this for probably going on 20 years or more. I don't even know how long it's been. Been doing it my whole life, and I'm 50. Been doing it since I was, I don't know, 20 something. But anyways, pretty good money. You can get a lot done in a day. You can make pretty good money. We're on the south side of this 40. We're going to go down this way, and then we're going to turn to the north and go another quarter mile to the north. And then another quarter mile back to the west, and then about 1/8 of a mile south, and then we'll be back at the truck. We're going around in a big square circle. So, all right, get back at you in a minute. All right, we got to get down through this. This is the tree we just painted. Down this steep ass shit here, and look, watch for snakes, because this is a real spot that very well could be a cottonmouth or something sitting in this crap. I usually stop and look all around before I get up on that bank over there. You can kind of look all around the bank. I'm going to climb up on top of there, and we're fixing to go down through this swamp. Kind of a swampy creek. It's more of a creek than a swamp. One day I'll get in a real swamp and show you what we have to go through sometimes. But yeah, if you get in a place like this and you're worried about snakes, just stop and listen. And if you hear birds and frogs or anything, any other kind of critter, there's probably not too many snakes. They'll eat everything. But if it's deathly silent and you don't hear anything, then there probably is snakes, because they tend to be by themselves and all the other animals tend to stay away from them. So anyways, just a easy way to tell. And I don't hear anything right now, but I don't think that I don't see any snakes, and I'm not saying there isn't any, but I'm not really afraid of snakes. I just don't want to climb up that bank and then have one right in front of me or something. And so, all right, here we go. I'm going to go on across like that. So there's some trash somebody floated down here on that creek. This was probably all over water. The water was flowing right down through here whenever it rains a lot. That ditch will be completely full of water, and you will not cross through here. When it's like that at certain times of the year, you would never cross this on foot unless you found a log, and then you'd wade up to your knees to get to a log to cross. There's a really cool burrow on a tree over there. That's really awesome. I'd love to have that. Can make some really cool furniture or something out of that. I see them a lot bigger than that. That's a small one. Anyways, our next tree is right over there. Let's go on over. Here's our next tree. We got a paint, and it came right down that creek on the edge of that bank, and it's going this way. And there's the creek again. It kind of weaves back and forth, but we're on this side now. After a few trees here, we'll be away from the creek, and we'll just be moving on. Get back at you when we get to the next corner. Okay, we're back. We're at the next corner. Concrete post. If you really look, this is a really old post, and it has the coordinates on top of that plate right there. It's hard to see it anymore. They don't go by this stuff very much anymore. Before they had GPS and easier ways to do it, they would read this little plate on here, and it would tell them exactly the longitude and latitude of where you are, pretty much. I think that's exactly the way it works. I've never really been able to figure it out. It's kind of complicated, but anyways, that's what that is. I'm gonna paint that. I'm gonna paint this little wooden post here with the flags on it. We painted our witness tree over there already. The big X and some marks pointing towards where the post is. And this little tree will get 3 bands. This little tree will get 3 bands. But we're way back here at the back of the 40. We've come almost a half a mile. And it is probably 95 degrees. Really super hot. As you can see, I've got my cold towel under my hat. I also have another one, I don't know if you can see it or not, up under my shirt right here. Another wet cold towel, and that keeps me pretty cool. I'm going to stop here and see what we have in our pack. So let's see what we have in our pack today. There's our gloves. There's our paint. There's our knife. This is the kind of brush we use, a little cheap brush you get from Home Depot. Also, I'm going to be documenting these Irish Setter boots. They are BOAs, Irish Setter BOA snake boots. And they're brand new. This is my first day out here with them. And periodically we're going to document how well they hold up. And we're going to wear them until they fall apart. When they start falling apart, we're going to show where they failed first and what the problems are. These are the cable ones. You loosen them by pulling out on it, and then when you want to tighten it, you just turn this and it tightens them up around your legs. If you want to tighten them up, you just keep cranking it. But these boots, I've had other pairs of them, and they're the best snake boots there is, as far as I can tell. I've tried lots of different ones, and these are the best ones that I've ever had. And hands down, these are the best snake boots you can buy. And I've tried every kind there is, pretty much. I went through hundreds of pairs of snake boots over my time doing this job. And yeah, these are the best. And so hopefully we don't have to test them out on any snakes, but if that happens, we'll document that too. So anyways, let's get on here to the bag and see what we have for liquid in the bag. That's my, always got to carry some of these. So here's the little fan. This is what you use to stay cool. So yeah, sit up against a tree and blow that in your face. A little bit of water comes out right there to cool you down. The fan blows on you. This is a nice little thing for 100-degree weather. So there's that. Let's turn it. Here's our dude wipes. Can't go without those. Energy drink, so we carry that with us. A little bit of sugar. Alkaline HP 9 Plus Body Armor water, sports water, really good water. Carry a couple of those with you on a mile. Let's see, we got Repel Max. Spray that on your boots and around your waist and on your hat. Let's see what else we have. Here's some more Repel, 100% DEET. Don't put this on your skin. This is just for your clothing. Spray it on your boots. Keeps ticks off of you, mosquitoes off of you. Really good stuff. Let's see. You carry a flashlight with you in case something happens and you get stranded in the woods. Nice to have a light. Extra paintbrush in case your paintbrush breaks. A little bit of duct tape. You never know when you'll need that. If your boot strap breaks or something, you need to tape your boot on. Or anything, it's nice to have a little bit of duct tape. What else do we have in here? A little mirror. Carry that with me in case you get a stick or some dirt in your eye. You can get it out without you know, having to walk back to your truck a mile with something in your eye that you can't get out. So it's always nice to have a little mirror. It's a magnified mirror that you can get a piece of dirt out of your eye or something if you need to. So that's in the pack. Let's see. Got some peanuts. Those have been in there a minute. I think I got some newer ones than those. A lighter in case you get out here and get hurt or something and you have to stay out overnight or something. One of these real good torch lighters is nice, so you could build a fire if you needed to. Got some kind bar, granola bar type things. There's some medical, like sports tape. You could wrap your ankle up. I wrap it around my ankles because my ankles bother me sometimes. Some of that's always nice to have. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, here we go. This right here is the sharpening stone for sharpening the brush axe. I keep that thing nice and sharp. It makes it a lot easier. So, all right, well, I'm going to sit here and take a break and drink some water. And yeah, we're going to move on. Here's the paint. We still haven't painted that yet. There's the X marking the post. Here's the badass snake boots we're going to document. Best snake boots ever. Maybe they'll sponsor me, because I'm going to show them. I'm going to wear these things till they fall apart, until the bottoms fall off of them, and I'll show you guys over how long it took and how many miles through the woods I walked with them. And we're going to document the whole thing and see where they fail. See how many hundreds of miles we can walk through the woods with them before they fall apart. And we're going to wear them until I can't wear them anymore, till they're just falling apart, and see how long that takes, and how many miles that we can get out of them through the woods and all kinds of terrain and swamps and creeks and hills and just whatever it comes across our path. So anyways, here's all my junk that's come out of my pack that I carry with me every time I go in the woods. And there's my brush axe, there's my paint. And we came from that direction to this corner, and then now we're going to turn and go that direction, following the line. So, all right, I'll get back at you. Okay, here's that tree. And here's where we sat down and drank some water and cooled off. Here's the post, and marked around that. Here's the X over there. We cleaned off that little tag a little bit, so if someone wanted to read it, they could still read it if they wanted to. Another banded tree. Over there's our next tree, so we're going to go that direction and do another quarter. See ya. All right. Piece of jug somebody left. There's the marker there. The old one there. We're fixing to paint. There's an X and some marks on the tree. There's the post. It's knocked over. We'll mark that on the map that this one was not in the ground. Let the company know that. Not that they'll ever do anything about it. They might, but it needs to be put back in the ground in the right spot. And we'll paint it anyways. People can see that it's there, and I'll get back with you in a little bit. Okay, we're down to a quarter gallon of paint. We've done about 3/4 of a mile. See if you look down through there real close. Zoom in a little bit. You can see those trees. That's the line down through there. One stripe on one side, two on the other. Comes right down through here, right to here, and then we're coming up on this creek again. There's the little creek. We're gonna walk across that log here in a minute. All right, line goes right on over through there. We're almost to the next corner, I think, and we'll be headed back towards the truck. I'll film it when we get to the truck. Go ahead and go across this log here real quick. Alright, so we're gonna walk this log. We walk logs all the time, but this one here is a little sketchy. It'll have to break maybe. It would suck if it broke. If it broke, we would. Whoa. We would have fallen in. I'm pretty good at walking logs. I've done it a lot. I've walked across some raging rivers on a little log. Because I had to. This thing sometimes will be completely full and it'll be a little bit intimidating. We'll be rushing down through here certain times of the year. But right now there's not much in it. But anyways, we'll go on over here. Find the next tree. Alright, so it came right over there, comes right through here. There it is. There's some really old paint on this big tree here. You can barely see it. So we're going to scrape that tree down and put some new paint on it. Because nobody seemed to paint that big tree last time. So what we do is we scrape it down like this. A couple marks like this. Like that. Scraped around there like that, just knocked off the rough edges. And now, try to do this where you guys can see me paint it. Take and just put a stripe on it like this. And another stripe down here. Happy little stripes, like that artist would say. People ask me if I'm an artist because I have paint all over my pants, and I say, yeah, I paint trees. And they don't know what to think. They don't realize that I really paint trees, like real trees. They think I paint trees in a picture. All right, let's see. Let's show you guys now what it looks like. There we go. Look at how nice that tree is painted there. That's how we do it. That'll be good for 8 years probably. Pretty good. And that old yellow paint that was on there was probably 15 years old. That tree hadn't been painted in a long time. There's one painted right up there. We'll paint it too. But this one's close to the creek, and so I figured it's a good tree to be painted. Really marks the line nice. You can see the other little trees on the other side of the creek over there. So anyways, we're going to continue on, and I'll be back in a bit. Right. The line was in them bushes there. Painted a tree right back there in the bushes. I'm looking for another tree to paint. This big one's not on the line, it's over there a little further. Here's some trees right here. We'll just paint these. It looks like they're the next ones. Look up here. And here they are, right here. There's one striper, another one striper. And there's a busted off tree up there. It has a stripe on it. And right over there is the truck. So we've done a mile, and the first mile on our BOA snake boots. And they still look pretty good. And just a little paint on them. Splattered orange on them. Good boots. My pants, you know, if you have pants like this, they get paint all over them. I'm walking through the bushes with a paintbrush. But, you know, it's all good. Yeah, so we're going to go on to the next place, or we may actually go paint some gates. We got to paint the gates that go onto these properties if they're pipe gates. So we'll show you that process too. I'm going to paint a few more trees here, and then we'll be getting in the truck and headed out of here. Somebody's old deer stand, there's a little food plot here where they've been hunting deer. Here's where we started over there this morning. And right here is where we ended. Going all the way around a mile back here to the truck. The old Tundra. This Tundra has 300 and something thousand, I think 330,000 miles on it. Really good truck. It's always never had any problems. V8. Got us a good crash bumper on it. Pretty decent truck. It's all scratched up from driving it through the woods, but all in all, it's been a really good truck. So, yeah. We almost used a whole gallon of paint. There's a little bit left in there. Usually get about a mile to a gallon pretty consistently. Depending on how big the trees are. If there's lots of real big trees, then there's you can use more paint. I've run out before going around a track. Thought I'd make it and didn't make it, but that's no fun. If you think you're going to run out, you need to find another way around and leave some paint on the line so you don't have to walk back to the truck until you're, whenever you run out. You'll have some, or leave some waters and some paint. Right now it's probably 95 degrees or close to it, I'm betting. I don't know exactly how hot it is, but they said it was going to get close to 100 today in southern Alabama. So, anyways, signing off. I'll see something interesting. I'll start filming again. I'm going that way. We're going to go down here. Over there. Let me show you on the map here. We're looking at right there where that 25 is. We drove in off that road. Just here. Came down this road and we turned and went in here. We're right there where that 25 is. There's a post over there where this right of way is on this. Get back into this piece. I think we're going to paint around this. And we'll start right here. Around, come back. We just did that one. morning. We went down, went over, around, came back here, and then we drove back out here. Drove up here, around down here. There's 2 gates there that we gotta paint. Another one here. There's 3 gates there. And then we drove in here to right there. So right there, we're gonna start painting right here, and we're gonna go around, come back, and we might do this if we have time today, but we're gonna leave, try to get home before dark, so got a long ways to drive. So yeah, we're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna call it a day. Be back tomorrow. I'll see anything